Hey there everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you are all having a spectacular spring day as I am here, or actually probably by the time you're watching this it'll be evening or Friday, and then we're almost into the weekend again. Man, I'm telling you, if I could freeze this weather and just keep it like this year round, I think now is just about the perfect timing. We were about 48 degrees Fahrenheit this morning, and then I think we're going to maybe get to 70 today. Very low humidity. I love, love, love it. Anyhow, today I want to talk about my raw food diet rules to live by. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you go down there and hit that subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Also, everybody that's been buying shirts this week, I really appreciate it. For those that don't know, I've got my store, rawtropicallivinggear.com, in the description below. And we have some vegan designs, a couple of yoga designs, and a lot more stuff coming soon. I'm actually working on getting designs ready for a designer today. So anyhow, so what are my rules to live by on this lifestyle? They're not that many, and they're not that stringent. Listen, this is like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm just never going to be able to relate this stuff to people because I just don't find this lifestyle to be all that difficult. It's eating fruit and vegetables. It's eating fruit and vegetables. I mean, peel, eat, peel, eat. Now, I know all the psychological babble everybody's got to talk about, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And it is. We are programmed. We do have these certain things, these tastes that we've gotten used to, and a little bit of brainwashing about what we need to have and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, it's just about eating. And I think the obsession comes in, and I try to mention this in as many videos as possible, when people are obsessed about being perfect or obsessed about being fully raw all the time, and that's their only measuring stick right there. That's the only way they measure how they're doing, their progress, everything is just by raw or by being fully raw. So the obsessiveness is just not good. When we obsess over our food all the time, that's kind of counter to what we're trying to do, because when we're obsessing, we're generally stressing, and stress is not good on the body. I just have never had, I think maybe this lifestyle is perfect for me because I've just never had the patience to be thinking about food all the time, obsessing, what are we going to eat next? Oh, let's go shopping, let's do this and that. I like good food, don't get me wrong. Even when I ate, before I became vegan, I enjoyed food, but it just never was this next level thing to me. I guess if you had the money to do it, I never understood like going, there was gourmet up to a certain point, but if you were started talking about spending like crazy money on food, I'm like, dude, it's food. So don't get obsessed with all of this stuff. It's just eating. Just learn how to eat, learn a little bit more each day, and you're going to be okay. Start the day strong. Start the day strong. As I'm rethinking these rules right here, a lot of these I'm just putting all together in one place. I've probably talked about them all at some point or another, but starting the day strong. Get out ahead of it. And once again, I think I said this in a video in the last couple of weeks, for all the people out there that'll tell me about intermittent fasting, well, if you're there, good. It seems though from the tone, there's so many people that just aren't getting the basics down. So I'll put it like this. You don't need to be doing these things. I don't think anyway. That's me. Maybe intermittent fasting, I've played around with a version of it before, and I think there's a lot of value there. But once again, that's kind of a little bit once you get used to it. I don't think as a beginner, I definitely don't think you need to be focusing on thinking too much about intermittent fasting while as a beginner to this lifestyle, when you can't even necessarily do it all the time yet. So start the day strong. Start the day strong. The stronger the better, man. Get yourself make a big smoothie for breakfast, have an ice cream for breakfast, whatever. Eat just a huge amount of fruit, but eat, eat, eat. Start the day strong and keep it going. You could follow up on that. Just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. I mean, I find even some days, I just kind of keep just eating fruit. Like today, it wasn't like I was, ooh, I'm going to go eat something I shouldn't eat, but I couldn't even think of anything I really wanted to eat, so I just ate bananas. You can always do that, but if you're hungry and you're new to this lifestyle, you will never succeed. You'll never succeed. You'll sit there. We're just not meant to do that. Not that many people, everybody talks about willpower, but not that many people actually have willpower. I've had people tell me over and over and over and over, man, but I wish I had your willpower. I don't have any willpower. What you see is what you get. This is one of the most natural channels out there. I truly have not used any willpower on this. In fact, I was blown away from day one that I could be so healthy, feel so good, get such good results, and never have to not eat. I eat anytime I want to. I eat anytime that I'm hungry. I never, never, never have to feel hungry. And I had never done a diet in my life, or I had never had a period where I tried to get healthy, back in shape, whatever you want to call it, where I could literally eat everything I wanted to. So man, I took to that. I took to that and I embraced it, because I literally have to do it or I won't keep weight on. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Don't get bored with your food. That's another one too. That's almost as bad as being hungry and trying to fight your way through it. I see people with combinations, and sometimes people, they'll tell me, oh, well, I had this for dinner last night, and they're not real happy, or they're not doing very well on their lifestyle. And I'm like, damn, player, I wouldn't be doing very well either. That was garbage. I'm sorry. And I'll never say that like to somebody as they're doing it. But I see combinations sometimes, especially when they even said it was a fail. And I'm like, well, that's garbage, dude. You just mixed up some shit in the kitchen. I'm like, you've got to find yourself some recipes that you like. Get yourself, like I've said a bunch of times before, get yourself 5, 6, 7, 10 recipes you really like. Now for me, it doesn't take that many. I get off on a kick, like especially salad dressings. Now that we're back into spring, I recently came across, or somebody shared a recipe on Facebook, and I've been making that a lot. I've probably had that 7, 8, 10 times in the last month. And it's just a simple little recipe of dates and onion and lemon juice and what else I'm having? And Dijon mustard. I've got another salad dressing that I absolutely love. I've told you, I've probably done multiple videos on it, my mango and red pepper. I don't get mango as much, so this kind of like filled in the gap. This filled in the gap because I always, listen, especially when spring and summer rolls around, I will eat salads. I'll eat some kind of a sauce or something like that almost every day if I can get the good dressings. And I'll tell you, it doesn't have to be somebody else's recipe necessarily, or it can be somebody else's recipe that you have taken and made it your own. The food I enjoy the most is probably either stuff that I've come up with on my own, and it's almost kind of like it's personal to me. I've done recipe videos before that I'm just like fanatic about what it is I'm making and eating, and everybody else kind of looks at it like eh. So find food that you really like. And if you're starting to get bored, if you're starting to get, as soon as you feel that little itch of like, well, I'm kind of getting tired of this, you know, maybe whatever, find something new, shake it up a little bit, you know, even make a gourmet meal every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not all or nothing. It's not black or white. It's not like I'll say that every once in a while, and then people say, but you say you don't eat nuts and you eat this. Well, you can do almost anything in moderation. Well, no, that's wrong. Not anything in moderation, but nuts, for sure, I can take them in moderation. Get a solid base. Get a solid base. Get a little bit of solid knowledge on this lifestyle. Get it from a lot of different places. Because a lot of your people, if you're just doing YouTube videos, you're going to get disappointed. Because these people fall by the wayside every day. Do you know how many people I don't see anymore in the 7 years I've been doing this? They just disappear day by day. So get yourself a good base. Get yourself a little knowledge about a plant-based diet, not just your raw thing. Just kind of get, you know, fill in the gaps, get yourself an education. And you have to, and also too, this kind of, well, no, it is different than starting strong and keeping yourself full. You've got to eat enough food to meet your needs, to meet the needs based on your body size, based on your activity level. But you've got to get this lifestyle will never, like I've seen it a lot. people that end up and fall by the wayside. And what I see is because they never ate enough food. Their body was never satisfied. And when we're not eating enough food, you got to remember, like, there's a lot of different, I don't focus on all the certain little things like, okay, did I get every one of this vitamin or that vitamin? But we need to eat a certain amount to make sure we're getting all the things that we need. Now, pretty much, I don't know, I'm not saying that's 100%, but I kind of like, I've mentioned before, I kind of like the philosophy behind Whole by T. Colin Campbell, that if we eat enough calories for our needs, and if we get enough variety in there, that by getting all those calories, we're going to get the nutrients that we need. But you've got to eat enough. Just no restriction, no restriction, no restriction. And if you need to restrict, you might want to clean up your diet a little bit, because I can't restrict. I'll finish with that. I always talk about don't restrict. I can't restrict. If I restrict for more than, every once in a while I'll get distracted for a few days. If I restrict, or if I don't eat enough for, say, even as 2 weeks, my weight plummets. I can't keep weight on by restricting. And if you're feeling the need, like you need to restrict because you're gaining weight, I hear people saying that on the raw food diet, well, I'm worried, I'm gaining weight. I just can't see how that's possible. I would have to see what they're eating, obviously, and there's always going to be exceptions. But I just can't see how you're unwantedly gaining weight on a raw food diet if you're eating fruits and vegetables. The only way I can see it is with too much fat, too much processed food. Unless you are, and then also too, if you're adding a lot of fat, if you're adding a lot of if you're adding processed food, that can jack the calories up. So then maybe you are getting, but you've got to kind of work this out. It's a balance. It's like an equation. And you've got to almost work on this equation every day. I know this sounds a little wacky, but that's the only term I can put it in right now. You've just kind of got to work on this balance every day until you find, it's experimentation. It's experimentation. There's nobody, even if you had the money to pay for it, that's going to write you an exact what you should do, what to do for you. And it all loops back around to personal responsibility, it being about you. Stop putting your power in other people's hands. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, how to do it. All the information's out there. Everything is out there on the internet that you need to figure out how to make this thing work for you. And what does working for you mean? That's up to you. That depends on the person. But for me, it's working like a charm because I'm happy every day. I feel good every day. I don't put the pressure on myself to be perfect. God, I'm far from perfect. But anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.